Thank you, listeners, for joining us. Elko Live today will feature our guest from Great Basin College with some exciting news about the accomplishments of the year and what we're looking forward to in 2026 with spring registration and advisement underway. And of course, GBC is involved in our community with lots of outreach projects and opportunities for you to connect with instructors and advisors and celebrating the holiday season and enriching the arts and humanities in our community as well. So I would like to welcome Gail Rappa to the studio. And Gail is the Director of Continuing Education for Great Basin College. Gail, a pleasure to see you.
Thanks, Lori. Thanks for having us. We always appreciate it so much.
Well, thanks. It's great to have you on the air to talk about Great Basin College, especially continuing education. There's an exciting lineup of classes and courses. Sadie Crabb is the Development Specialist for the Great Basin College Foundation. And as we learned at the town hall meeting that GBC hosted on campus earlier in the week, there's a lot to be really proud of, Sadie, and you're going to bring us some details on that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lori. Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Sadie, so much for your good work. And Katie Karnehm-Esh is back. And Katie is like the icing on the cake of all the, yes, all the exciting things that Great Basin College is able to accomplish. And then Katie's great work with the Humanities Center in bringing people onto campus, including people from throughout the service area and even throughout the country, because some of your events are offered online, featuring wonderful works of art and literature and generating understanding in our community. People can zoom in to the book club meeting on Friday, right?
They can.
Yes.
And we'll have more information about that here in a minute.
All right, perfect. So introductions are out of the way, and now we can get into the program. Well, Gail, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Because you have just released the class catalog for spring of 2026. And I guess it's a diverse selection of courses, but it's also just scratching the surface, right? Because you always add things along the way.
We do. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. We call it our spring 2026 class or course catalog, and I feel like we should have a little asterisk at the top that just says more. Stay tuned for more, because we're always adding things. We can't get everything in the catalog. It's just what we have locked in. So we're super excited. And before we even launch into 2026, we still have some things happening the remainder of this year. We've got some fun stuff going on in our fitness center. We're doing a pickleball marathon, like a one day from 8 to 5 on Friday, January 2nd. So it's the day after New Year's. So you can kind of go in and just start the new year with you don't have to be there the whole time, obviously, but if you want to, that's awesome. We'll have like a little dispenser of Gatorade, and there'll just be, pickleball games going on all day. So that's just a $10 drop-in fee. That's not something you register for in advance. You just pay when you come.
And what was the day for that?
That's January 2nd, which is a Friday.
That is January 2nd, pickleball marathon. And you don't have to register, it's just a drop-in?
Yeah, that one's just a drop-in. Yeah, so it's just, we're raising some funds for some fitness center equipment and pickleball equipment in particular. So we wanted to do just a fun marathon day.
Wow, that's fantastic. So calling all pickleballers, your date is January 2nd in the fitness center at Great Basin College. You don't have to have any classes or be registered for this one. It is a drop-in session. It sounds great. So thanks for that opportunity.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. And then we've got kind of something similar, but it's for the younger crowd. We're doing a volleyball open play for 3 days, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at that week after the 29th, 30th, and 31st. So it's right before New Year's. And it's just to come and play volleyball, practice. Dolly Hicks-Willoughby is our fitness center lead, but she's also one of our volleyball coaches. And so she's just going to be there kind of supervising as folks come and play. And it's from 9 to to noon. So again, you don't have to come for the whole 3 hours each day, but you can come and play as much as you want. So the age limit on that is 13 to 16.
Oh, that's great, because we have so many volleyball fans, players. It's a very popular sport, and this is just another chance to kind of hone your skills, get to meet some other fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some players.
And something to do over a break, to keep you kind of in the game.
Yes. No matter what the weather's going to be doing, it'll be nice indoors at the fitness center. The great thing about continuing, well, there are many great things about continuing education. It involves collaboration. It brings in people from the community to teach these classes and courses who are experts in their own field. But it also brings back the live in-person arts and fitness, Gail, and that's what you were responding to in a recent survey you did.
Yeah, so we did a survey, actually January 2025, kind of a community survey to all the communities that we serve, and overwhelmingly the response was, we want live classes, we want arts, we want humanities, and we want fitness. And so we were like, okay, we can do that. That's what we'll focus on. And so we've added a lot of live classes. We've started a whole sewing studio. So now we can offer sewing classes, which have been really popular. Our fitness classes are growing. We just, we have youth rock wall, which we're really excited about. That is something that we've been getting requests for quite some time. So we have a really talented, instructor that will work with youth. So we're doing our best to meet the needs, but also meet the needs for the whole spectrum of ages that we're dealing with, because we deal with everything from toddlers in our music and movement class to 92-year-olds in pickleball, so which reminds me, anyone 80 or over can get free pickleball open play. So we want to encourage this kind of lifelong health and lifelong learning, but also lifelong, fitness. So that's something that we implemented last year.
That's great. These are all continuing education opportunities. Again, live in-person classes and courses ranging in arts and fitness. There are some brand new offerings on the way in AI, in professional communications, things like meditation. There's some favorites, as Gail mentioned, the sewing, jewelry, ceramics, painting, all this and much more. And you can enjoy our college, Great Basin College here in Elko, in a kind of a step back way. You can make friends. It's very social, team building, small groups, large groups. Come as you are and be a part of the continuing education at Great Basin College.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we love about it is, the intergenerational partnering that we have, with the fitness center and the arts. That's pretty rare anymore, where you get all the different ages together in one classroom, and they're interacting and they're joking and they're making connections. So that's part of the magic.
All right. So you can find all this and more, what we're talking about, online. Is that right, Gail? Online or in person at the office there on the campus?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, our catalog is out, and you can access it. The easiest way to find out the most up-to-date things is to follow us on socials, so Facebook and Instagram or LinkedIn. And then you can click on the link there and see the full color catalog. We have paper catalogs available, which we will have this weekend at the Snowflake Festival, which we'll talk about. And then you can just go to our website too.
All right. Gail, thank you. We'll come back to you, obviously, to talk about, again, some future offerings as we wrap up the program. But now it's time to visit with Sadie Crabb, who is the development specialist with the Great Basin College Foundation. A lot of what you do, you get to create some fun experiences and bring people together, Sadie, on behalf of our college foundation.
Yes, Lori, thank you so much. It certainly is a wonderful opportunity to serve the students in that capacity of the foundation, holding events, doing fundraising, all for the student scholarships and programs. Absolutely.
So it's, of course, educating people about higher education and the education you can achieve in Elko, but also doing this community outreach. I know Billy Crapo is a big fan, the Elko Area Chamber CEO. They appreciate the work that you're doing, the ECVA. I mean, there are just so many different entities and organizations, and you're showing that commitment by turning out for the Snowflake Festival, which is this weekend.
Yes, that's right, Lori. So we will be, Team GBC will be present this weekend, Saturday the 13th. in downtown Elko in the downtown corridor. We're going to be running Santa's workshop. So we will be, the elves, the GBC elves this year. We're going to be doing the hands-on free craft for the kids. We will be taking the coloring contest submissions, and you can also, if you haven't done them ahead of time, we'll have the sheets there to complete them. We're also going to be having continuing education there, selling ornaments and ceramic mugs. And then we're also going to be having our Honor Society, PTK there, selling their notorious crazy Christmas hats. So it really should be something for everyone. We're really excited to be out in the community serving in that capacity this weekend. Additionally, I wanted to make sure that we just express a heartfelt thank you to our 2025 donors and our community partners. We're deeply grateful for our community's dedication and generosity that you've shown us this year and always. So many of our partners, it's a continued ongoing partnership. Your contributions have fueled our mission at GBC, which is to transform lives through education. With our community support, I'm excited to share we established 5 new scholarships this year. We gave out a total of 373 through the foundation, which averaged about $2,500 each. Overall, we were able to give out just over $1 million in scholarship funding. And as you can see, that's very impactful. I mean, it's transformative, it's life-changing for our students. And that said, it is the end of the year. It is that holiday time of giving. I would be remiss to not, of course, reach out one last time and ask the community, as the year comes to a close, we do hope that you'll make one more year-end donation just to help us kind of cross the finish line strong. We're currently holding a holiday fundraising campaign to support the development of a new student emergency fund. And that is to support students with non-tuition, unexpected one-time expenses. We know that many of our students are working, they're parents, they have bills and obligations. And so when they have car trouble or an unexpected medical expense, they're faced with the decision of, do I complete my certification or my degree, or do I take care of this, obviously unexpected necessary expense. So we don't think students should have to choose. We're really trying to develop this fund to support students with these one-off unexpected expenses and help them as well cross the finish line strong and to earn those degrees and certifications because they are our future nurses, our teachers, our skilled industrial workers that we rely on and that fuel our economic development in our community and serve our community members. So if you are at all willing or interested in supporting, donating to the foundation to support our students and services, please join us on our website, which is gbcnv.edu/foundation.
Sadie Crabb is Development Specialist for the Foundation, and this certainly illustrates what President Dr. Amber Dinelli was talking about during the town hall this week, in that she is a student-centered president. All of these efforts, of course, are either at the request of or in response to direct need from students and from community members. Great Basin College began as a community college, but we really are a full-service college now and offering the 75 degrees and certificates that anyone that's listening right now can take advantage of. So that is an amazing opportunity, Sadie, and it will go directly to support the students who are taking advantage of higher education. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's great news. Well, more great news from Katie Karnehm-Esh, and I wanted to take the opportunity just to, what I pulled from the website, Katie, is about the Humanities Center, because sometimes, people they think, oh, it might be book club, which is one example, or it might be an exhibit, or it might even lead to a degree. But the humanities is here in rural Nevada. It supports all of these things and more. It's about critical thinking, right, Katie? Offering students or community members another way to look at community, to appreciate various cultures, and to explore, some of their own curiosities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Humanities Center celebrates the human condition, its stories, its critical thinking, its art, its culture. We have a lot of really wonderful technology at our disposal these days, but we we always want to retain like our human ability to think through how to best use that, and how to use it to make the world better. And I think the humanities is a really powerful way to do that. So one of the ways we do that is book club, and we have an opportunity Friday, December 12th at 1 p.m. We have, for our final book club of the year, we have the author and Basque researcher Jose Malia coming to talk at our book club. So anyone is welcome. You're welcome if you've read the book or not. There won't be a quiz. And it's just a wonderful chance to learn more about some of the specifics of Elko's history, and especially this, really unique culture that makes up so much of Elko. It's a really interesting book. If you want to read it, there's copies at the GBC library, which is where we always have some of our book center club books. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me at Katie, Katie.Karnehm, Karnehmesh at gbcnv.edu. And if you want to join us on Zoom for the book club, you can visit. We have a new website that's in the process of being loaded. You can go to www.gbcnv.edu/humanities_center, and that's where you will find the Zoom link. You'll find more information. We hope that website will get a little bit fancier eventually, but GBC is doing a new website, this is kind of the landing page we have for right now.
What a great opportunity again. And this book, and this author, by the way, he's written other books about Basque culture. I understand this book does features some of the stories from local Basque families or individuals who are maybe sons or daughters of immigrants or are themselves immigrated.
Yeah, so he talks about Spanish Ranch. He's talking about some of the families that have been here since the beginning. He's been talking about how Basque communities ended up here from the different parts of the old country, and then how they adapted and became kind of Americanized. So the subtitle of the book is The American Basques of Elko County, Nevada. And he really did emphasize they've become like very much a part of American culture, but with their own kind of distinct take on it. And as someone who only knew about Basque culture in context of Spain, I grew up in the Midwest and I knew about the Basque people in Spain. I had no idea they were in Nevada. So meeting him and reading his books has been a really great opportunity for me to understand my new home better. And I really appreciate that.
So if you're listening and Nevada is your new home, just like it is for Tim and for Katie, who relocated here through Great Basin College, which we are so ever grateful for, Katie, really. This is a great opportunity to sit in on the book club discussion. Again, as Katie said, don't worry if you haven't read the book. Listening to this program, it's going to be something you can zoom right into as soon as the program's ended, or head up to Great Basin College in McMullen. It's room 120?
102.
102. Thank you. Got those numbers backwards. 102 in McMullen, and join the discussion again. And don't worry if you haven't read it, because you always gain a lot just from the discussion, because the author is going to be part of this discussion.
Absolutely. And he tells wonderful stories. He has really lovely ideas. If you've heard of his book, Speaking Through the Aspens, that was the first book he became known for. It's about the Basque sheepherder carvings on the aspen trees in this part of the West. But his new book, More Than Sheep Herders, kind of goes beyond just like the Basque people as sheep herders. It expands into all of the ways they've been really pivotal in this part of the country.
Well, thanks, Katie, for reminding us of that opportunity. And again, you are already lining out things for the new year, not only wrapping up this year, but you're going to be involved in, as Great Basin College always has been since its inception, the 41st National Cowboy Poetry Gathering.
Yes, and we're really excited to be hosting more and more events for cowboy poetry up at the campus. In addition to, Gail's been a great partner with Continuing Ed with getting some of the silversmiths up on the campus. Two events I really want to point out are on Thursday, January 29th at 10:30. There's going to be a musical group from New Mexico called Lone Peñon. They have a really interesting approach to music writing. They do research and kind of like anthropological studies and then write folk music out of that. So they're going to be doing a partial performance and conversation. That'll be up in the GBC Theater on January 29th at 10:30 a.m. And then on January 31st, the Saturday afternoon, the highlights of the open mic will be at the GBC Theater from 3 to 4:30. So the open mic sessions are always really popular. So basically, the best of the best will be at GBC that afternoon for the final performance. So we're really excited about that.
Those are all amazing opportunities, and do underscore the collaboration of Great Basin College with various entities in the community, including the Origins, the Western Folklife Center located right here in Elko. They're headquartered at the Pioneer Hotel, but as always, they have been a big part of GBC Humanities and those local efforts. Katie, thank you.
And one thing we're really excited about, I think we've just firmed up all the details, but the Native Market is also going to be at GBC this year in the Solarium. So that's really exciting for us, and we hope this is also another really good collaboration.
Oh, that's a nice opportunity. People love that market, and hopefully it will find its permanent home at GBC.
Hopefully. Yeah,
that would be
thank
just
you.
great. Katie, thank you. So we're going to make our way back up to Gail, but I want to make sure, did we get to all the things that you were hoping to? You're kind of one book in and Gail's the other book in. So things you're working on for the new year?
So I think the other thing is we've been really fortunate to have some art exhibits up at campus this year, some visiting art exhibits. We had 2 from Nevada Arts Council. Those will be closing out very shortly. However, one of our colleagues from Truckee Meadows Community College, Candace Garlock, is going to be bringing her honeycomb exhibit to campus in early January. And it's if you Google honeycomb project, you'll find it online, but it's absolutely stunning, kind of user, like community is in like all of Nevada community created project where she's had artists and like, everyday people like me. She's taken these hexagon shaped panels to workshops where people paint on them, they collage on them. Gail and I got to do this last spring in Ely at the Basin and Range Conference. But it's this community created kind of honeycomb hive project. And it's massive, but anyway, that'll be installing in early January, and then she'll be coming back in February to do an artist talk and an art workshop. So I'm just really excited about that, and I'm excited that'll be up all semester, and I'm just really excited to showcase, another Nevada artist and academic here at Great Basin.
Katie, thank you for all the good work that you're doing. A lot of things obviously behind the scenes. I also just wanted to give you a plug because you're an extraordinary writer and communicator and an essayist, and I know that you're working on projects behind the scenes as well. So hopefully we can look forward to something from you too as you're settling into your Nevada home and how we inspire you.
Well, now that you've said that, I'll be extra motivated to work on something. So thank you so much.
No pressure. You're welcome. Thank you so much again for what you bring to our community. So Sadie, we wanted to make sure that we've talked about the scholarships. We talked about, again, all the wonderful things that were said. And it's not that GBC doesn't have challenges going forward in 2026. Dr. Amber Dinelli was quick to point that out during the town hall. Things are being discussed. There's going to be a Board of Regents meeting January 16th. That is to look at the finances. The system-wide, they need about $49 million, and GBC is going to be a part of, coming up with those funds. That's why contributions and support are more important now than ever to show Nevada lawmakers just how much our college means to the Elko area, not just to Elko, but Ely, Pahrump, and Winnemucca. And yes, and that brings us to our spring enrollment, Sadie, which I know you're eager to tell us all about.
Yes, I absolutely am. I think we all get a little bit into that mentality of, new year, new me. Maybe it's a little bit a trope, but to me, I think it's energizing, and I personally am going to be full on that bandwagon. But our spring enrollment is currently open for 2026, and a new year really does bring new possibilities. There's no better time to reinvest in yourself and your education. Our classes will begin January 20th. Enrollment continues now through January 24th. Financial aid opportunities are available. We encourage anyone, even if you're just curious, meet with an advisor today. There's nothing to lose, nothing to really risk. We encourage you to, of course, enroll with GBC this spring. Take those next steps towards your goals. Maybe you've completed a few credits, but you kind of stopped, or maybe you're just a few credits shy of completing a degree or certification. Anyone and everyone is welcome. Your future starts with that decision to begin. So begin your journey today at GBC. Visit gbcnv.edu for more information. We've got a ton of information on that spring enrollment currently on that homepage.
Thank you, Sadie. Again, there are 75 different opportunities to advance, from academic achievements to workforce development to training that gets you right into jobs, well-paying jobs that are in high demand. And I know that Gail Rappa, who we're going to kind of wrap up with on the program today, can tell us more about some of those short-term training and opportunities. But Sadie is right. I mean, education is achievement, and it changes you. You may not think about those unused credits or the credits that you have sitting toward a degree. Think about it like a savings account that you haven't really tapped into, you haven't thought about for a while. I mean, it belongs to you, and you can achieve great things. Just even the personal satisfaction of getting a degree. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate that.
You may not need it for your career, but you will need it for your own perseverance. It's a good feeling. So, Gail, I'm sure that your colleagues inspire you and reminded you of some things. Continuing ed is a great place to kind of stick your toe in the water, right, if you haven't been on campus for a while?
Absolutely. And, we dovetail so nicely with the credit courses. So we have folks that take credit courses and then they take fitness classes through us. Another thing that I always like to remind people is that GBC students that are enrolled in 6 or more credits get a free fitness center membership. And that's courtesy of the Student Government Association. They cover the fees so that they can do that, because they understand that, in order to be going to school, oftentimes while you're doing other things, you're sometimes something has to give, right? And sometimes you sacrifice your health because of the cost and not going to a gym or whatever. So that's a really wonderful thing for when you're thinking about enrollment. You're like, oh, well, that's one more reason why I think I'm going to go ahead and take those 6 to 9 credits, while I'm still working part-time.
And we know that GBC also cares about mental health and wellness, too.
Absolutely.
Dr. Ganelli brought that up, too, a new exciting opportunity.
Exactly, yeah. And so Better Mind is the telehealth partner that GBC works with. And every student that's enrolled in a credit is eligible for, about 6 sessions a semester. And those are free, and you get to choose the counselor that you work with. It's a pretty fantastic program, and it's also completely anonymous. So nobody needs to know that you're doing it, and you can talk about anything. And it doesn't have to be a crisis. That's what we always tell students, is it can just be like, I'm struggling. I'm not really sure how to handle the stress that I'm going through right now, or do you have any, you have any tools that I can use? So there's a lot of really good reasons for folks to enroll at GBC.
Gail Rappa is the Director of Continuing Education at Great Basin College, and we've been talking about a lot of different things, not only wrapping up this year, but looking forward to next. This is a big week, this weekend and next weekend, for Great Basin College Theater with another fantastic community collaboration, right, Gail?
Yeah, it's wonderful. Everyone, if it's not your favorite Christmas movie, it should be, but I'm sure most folks are familiar with The Christmas Story. And I believe it's A Christmas Story, not The Christmas Story. I think we need to define that. And so Great Basin College is partnering with Overland Theater, and they're doing production. And it's really exciting. I've been watching some of the rehearsals after hours, and it's going to be fantastic. So be prepared for a lot of references to the leg lamp. There's some fun ways that they're interpreting this, the movie. So definitely get a chance to see it. And I believe the dates are you have those?
Yeah, I have December 11th through December 20th. So it's the 2 weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, evening performances at 7. And then the 2 Saturdays will feature matinees at 2. Again, completely family friendly.
Yeah.
A lot of kids, a lot of kiddos in this one. And that they've combined some high school musical talent in addition to community talent. And it's just nice to see so many young people involved in theater. Just the arts in general, it really improves our quality of life, and GBC has so much to do with that.
Absolutely, yeah, and Dr. John Rice is wonderful for he sees the resource of the theater and the infrastructure that it has there, and opens it up to partnerships with the community, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, he's been professor of theater and English and at Great Basin College, for decades. I'll just say that much, and that it's really transformed people's lives. I mean, he has former students who come back to him constantly and tell him how happy they are that they were introduced to GBC through theater, and that many of them celebrate successes. And some of them have gone on to be professionals in theater and also to even be teachers. So it's really nice. Yeah. So Gail, did we get to all the topics that we were hoping we can open the new year with another program, because I'm sure there's more to come.
Yeah, we can't possibly get to all the topics, but that's why we have the catalog. So please come and see us Saturday at the Snowflake Festival at the GBC Santa's Workshop. You'll get to see our catalogs, and we'll be doing, as Sadie mentioned, our GBC Ceramic Studio will have ornaments and mugs for sale, and the proceeds from that goes towards the scholarship that allows seniors 65 and older to and get 20% off of classes in ceramics. So that's really helpful for a lot of folks that are on a fixed income that want to take classes. So that's part of what those proceeds go to. We're also going to have some custom calligraphy bookmarks that you can get with your name on them, and they're beautiful, and they have a little tassel. You can use them as a bookmark or hang them on a tree. So that, in addition to all the wonderful activities, hands-on activities, and fun PTK hat sale, everything it's going to be a very robust tent. Let me just put it that way.
Oh. So just follow the lights, the sound, the action during Snowflake Festival in the heart of downtown Elko there in the corridor, and lots of good cheer. And we're just so excited about the new year ahead. And Great Basin College has so much to do with making that feeling possible, Gail. Thank you for your great work, all of you, women, all of the talented professionals who lend their efforts to Great Basin College in our community. Until we meet again.
Great. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.